Hi, everybody. I am really under the weather today and having difficulty in a lot of different ways. I have a spinal problem that has cropped up, and unfortunately, it leaves me dizzy and without balance. I'm going to try to do what I can here. The Browns were tough enough to stick it out, and I guess I'm going to try to be tough enough to stick this out. Uh, I did officially say on Twitter that there would be no post game show, but I'm doing the best that I can do, and we'll bring Hammer Time in. Hey, Hammer, how you doing?
Oh my goodness.
Well, I want to, and we'll bring David Talevsky in as well. I'm suffering right now with a health problem, and just been a lot of general stress, and I have a cervical spine problem that renders me sometimes, if I get in a bad position, as my balance completely goes. On top of that, the I was unable to continue sitting and watch the game, and I was listening to the audio of the game, and I was able to get it up on my other television to watch the final field goal miss. Uh, so here I sit, and
It does make you
Rocks,
feel a little better, doesn't it?
no, Rocks is right next door, laying down in the room next to me, just in case I need help. She, of course, is going through something that's difficult as hell, and you know, uh, we talk about being a team with heart. Sometimes there's heart, and sometimes there's stupidity. As you can see, I'm a little out of breath here because this is what this does to me. And it is a spinal condition. And I can tell you that it is a bone spur pressing up against my spinal cord. And it is the worst thing because it takes my breath away, not a Berlin reference. And it also takes my balance away from me.
Baker just threw an INT.
Is that supposed to make me feel better? Uh, you know, this is when upsets happen. The ultimate trap game. You're undefeated. You come into a team's field where it's raining like a motherfucker, and uh, and I would say that Deshaun Watson has a lot more courage than I do, Richard. Uh,
Aren't we all day to day?
yeah, exactly.
This is one of those kind of games where it is the National Football League. These are professional players, and on any given Sunday is a real thing. And their excuse is going to be, well, we had players injured. Well, yeah, so did we. We had probably the best running back in the league gone for the season. We have our starting quarterback out. We're playing a guy that they moved off of the practice squad. You know, we're missing Joel Batonio. We've been out Conklin for the year. It's next guy up. That's what it is in the National Football League. There are always going to be injuries. The thing that's probably the biggest takeaway from this game for me is how well the defense took over, just in general, except for that one play towards the end where they gave him a little 3 yard play. It ended up being a 15, 20 yard scramble. But other than that, the defense just really showed up again, big time. They held them to 2 first downs in the second half, and one of those was 3 first downs in the second half. One was a penalty on the pass interference. One was the touchdown that they get, and the other one was the play to number 11. That was it. They really showed up, and Walker showed the reason why he's been around the league for a while he was the XFL, leading passer, all that sort of thing. That's where we're at.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody in the chat room for being nice. It's difficult to get ready to watch a football game, and then sitting in the chair I was in, this neck got into a bad position, and that's all it takes. And once the thing hits against my spinal cord, I'm lost. And I was laying for the last 15, 20 minutes with an ice pack on the back of my neck, the top of my back, hoping that would help. And I think honestly that they should bench Purdy. You see, that's for all you Watson people. There are people who
They should just straight cut him. I mean, what the hell? Just straight cut the guy.
I mean, obviously the conditions were such that nobody was throwing the ball very well. This is what we saw with Cincinnati in the first week of the season. And it's it's what happened here again. You let a team stay in the game long enough, and if you don't they're going to make a play and they're going to kick a field goal, and our guy off the waiver wire kicked the field goal and their rookie missed the field goal. What I would say is this: somebody came around the corner for the Browns.
I think it was Denzel Ward.
And did he distract the kicker? Because he was coming from their left side of the line, and it almost was like the kick went wide and stayed wide. It didn't curl back in. And I'm wondering if subconsciously he saw that player coming around the corner.
And Moody was. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it probably caught him off guard a little bit. But a rookie kicker in our stadium might take that chance anytime.
But you got to come back to the fact that Moody played for Michigan. He's played in some adverse things. He was possibly the best kicker, or one of the best kickers last year. The guy's been money, definitely in his college career. So, granted, he's in the pros. But a great thing to kind of add to your comment about the weather, the two quarterbacks, their quarterback rating combined was 100.5.
Yeah.
Purdy averages like 120 something. They were Walker was a 45-2 and had, what is it here, 18 to 34 for 192. Purdy was 17 to 27 for 125.
Yep.
With a 55.3 quarterback.
And one thing, and I can't get emotional here, and I know that if you watch the halftime show, I was much in the same state as I am right now. I can't get excited, because if I do, I might drop. We don't want to see that on camera. I'm not going to predict.
We've seen that once before.
Yeah. I'm not going to predict a season, Oliver, or season record. No way. I can't predict from week to week, for goodness sakes.
I don't think anyone can.
Yeah. At this point, it's this will be a head scratcher for 49ers fans, and for us, I guess I started to get emotional watching the game because the referees were bungling calls, and then on top of that, the announcers and kept on talking about McCaffrey missing and Deebo Samuel, and it's like, what about our guys?
Oh, but we're not 5-0, so
we're not. We weren't playing with shit. I mean. I'm not even going to get upset.
That's why I have it on the DVR, wind it back and listen to the radio. And actually the radio, Andrew Siciliano stepped in for Jim Donovan this week. And I don't know if you know Andrew, used to do the Red Zone and has done a lot of stuff for the network. Fine job. Absolute great job on the play-by-play with he and Nathan and Gerard. It's just so much more fun to listen to our guys talk. And at one point in time, though, you could hear Nathan laughing, just like giggling when they were making some good plays. And it's not as bad as the Bengals guys when you hear Dave Lapham just flat out just start screaming for the team. But it was fun. It was it was a good time for a change, and man, we kind of needed one of those, you know.
Brian, you need a blowjob, okay? And I don't care who gives it to you, but chill, dude. Your defense broke down when you needed them. I mean, they're the reason we were in the game. Stop it. Stop pulling a negative from a positive. You just need, and even your own hand can function that way.
We all could use one, by the way. But
unfortunately, no transdermal patches. This is not an emotional thing. This is a physical thing, and there ain't nothing they can do. And Wills, boy, I'll tell you, I'd like to just sometimes going 7 yards downfield on a screen pass. Richard,
you got to be smarter. You got to have. I mean, you're not a rookie. Yeah, Richard's totally on that. You know me, I'm the biggest ref apologist out there, and boy, they did not have a good day.
And spotting the ball, simple things that you would think somebody would be in a position to do, but no, that's not the case. Wait, I want to say hi to Coffee Buzz. Hold on. You save your thought. I just want to say hello to Coffee Buzz 33, who's congratulating the Browns, but he's a 49ers fan. And that's good sportsmanship. Thank you for being even-tempered and about this. And had the Browns lost, I would have said the same thing. It was a sad thing for the Browns had they lost. Playing as heartfelt a game as the defense played and hanging in for as long as they did. Go ahead, David. Oh, David.
You there?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Dante Whitner is part of the 49ers pregame, I guess. And he said
Moo.
Hi, Bronk. What happened, David? David is cutting in and out. So somebody said, yeah. Spit it out.
Yeah, let me shut my internet off and go to mobile. That's probably what's going on. Okay, so Dante Whitner said that the Browns' defense was overrated because they played terrible offenses.
Mm-hmm. They played another terrible one today, it looked like.
Yeah. So, what do you have to say about that now?
Oh,
and
dear.
Also, I just got a notification on my phone that apparently Suzanne Summers passed away.
Yeah, I know. That's I don't know what she died of, but she did. It seems to me there was some cancer back years ago with her, if I'm correct. And I was sorry to hear that. So now John Ritter and now her. So one's company.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really too bad.
Yeah, 23 years of breast cancer survivor.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. About that. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to break out my Thigh Master in honor of her.
Yeah, you'll break it all right.
My Thigh Master's already screaming in the closet. No, don't be there.
Yeah, they flashed that graphic, John, on the screen on the telecast.
How
many quarterbacks have been forced to play? Yada yada yada. I'm trying to breathe.
One of the great stats from last week was the one that they brought up of the fact that Mac Jones had 4 pick sixes in his career in Gillette Stadium, and in the entire career of Tom Brady, he had 4 pick sixes. So yeah, wow. There are bad quarterbacks. We had them. We still have them. And, and now some other people do.
And here's Wable. Listen to the, we should have kept Joshua Dobbs. and
stop.
Yeah, and yet here's the 49ers fan who's saying that PJ did a great job considering.
Yeah, he made he had some throws right on that last drive that he kind of, he short-armed them or whatever, but he played within himself.
And every team deserves a little luck, and we haven't had a bit of it in recent years. This is a very fortunate win. We'll take a
Well,
fortunate win.
can I dampen everybody down for a bit?
Yeah.
I just hope that after this win, that we don't, the team and the coaching staff and whatever all happens, every time we fucking win a game, but that we don't have this Victory Monday thing and then go out and lay a gigantic egg against the fucking Baltimore Colts next week and lose again and lose whatever momentum we might get off of this game. We gotta start fucking winning games in a row for a change.
All right, guys,
You
I
know?
gotta leave just for a second. I'll be back in. Keep the show rolling, would you?
No problem.
Yeah, because
That's what you guys are for. Hold on.
Oh, Mr. Moonhead. Ooh, he's nothing.
Well, you know that
but
they
a-
do call that a winning streak, Bronk, and it has happened before. It just doesn't happen in Cleveland that often.
Oh my god.
It's
Oh
one of-
yeah, so there's just gonna be all this Victory Monday bullshit on social media tomorrow. And then if we go out and lose to the fucking Colts, I will be fuming.
I
I
don't
will
even-
not be
who's-
happy.
Who's quarterback in the Colts now? Is Minshew? Saw their Garner
Well,
Minshew.
I think they're playing right now, aren't they?
you got more channels than I do on
Yeah,
this.
let me see what's going on with the.
But nonetheless, great. I think, like I said, great job by the defense again. They
Yeah,
just really
I've-
stepped
yeah.
it up. It really certainly makes a difference. Different people stepping up and playing. A little concerned about what happened with Juan Thornhill, how bad his shoulder
Yeah.
was hurt at the end of that.
Anthony Walker went out with a concussion.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Oh,
There
I
was a
didn't
head
even
injury
know
for
that.
Walker. Yeah, that was early on. That's why Taki I know had that pressure.
Taki was in a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, overall, that was it. Ford had some nice runs when it came down to money time.
He
That
did.
was something that was very impressive. Wasn't thrilled with the idea of trying to force the ball in there on that last drive. I mean, it would have been great if it worked, but fortunately, it didn't get picked. But that was one of
Okay.
those kind of things that you get a little afraid when they do that. But hey,
the
it
Colts
looked pretty
got
good.
absolutely blown out by the Jaguars, 37-20, and the Colts ended up scoring 14 points in injury time. So the Jags were up by like 30 points.
Way to
going
keep
into
it
the fourth
rolling,
quarter.
guys.
So I'm
I have a secret, Brunk.
Yeah,
I was urinating.
you were urinating.
Yes.
Ooh.
Wait a sec. Let me try. Urination. We gonna urinate and have a good time.
Kyle
Yeah.
Hamilton sitting there whining that he got ejected during the game with the Titans.
Well, I mean, he should be suspended for the
He's just
season. Honestly, the whole team, the way they play.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, you got to do Peter Alice.
no.
describing Brock
I don't
Purdy
have
today.
that
You
in
can't-
me, Brunk.
You don't have any. You don't have no voices today.
Not enough air.
No,
Mr.
no.
Blue is
It's
not
everything for
well
me to be
today.
doing this.
I think we could. I think it's time for like I don't know, if like a Bee Gees kind of a re-rack. We could go, yeah. No,
No, yeah, right.
yeah, that's not gonna happen. So
Uh,
that's what it really is. What it is. Their chances are still staying alive. But hey, and you were talking a little bit about Dante Whitner. Speaking of former Buckeyes,
Yeah.
boy, C.J. Stroud has turned out to be
pretty
one
good.
heck of a good pickup, wasn't he? He's got another W under his belt. They're 3-3.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
I
Yeah,
think-
what draft pick did they use for him? One of ours or one of theirs?
They had enough.
And double down Dom brings up a good point here. I mean, you take away McCaffrey and Samuel Debo, and that takes weapons away from Purdy. And this is,
Yeah.
what we've been dealing with, except nobody wanted to give Deshaun Watson and cut him any slack.
No.
Right.
But, y'all gonna feel sorry for Brock Purdy. But the fact of the matter is, in
Poor
football,
Brocky.
McCaffrey went down, Debo went down for the Browns. God only knows, everybody went down.
Everybody's dead.
So, a quarterback can look ordinary without his timing with his pet receivers. It's difficult, and
Yeah,
it's
he
really
looked
difficult for a PJ Walker or a DTR to come off the bench and be able to have any camaraderie, timing with a group of wide receivers that maybe they took first team snaps for 5 days. It's just not.
Well, I got a question for the panel here regarding this game. I mean, what happened to the vaunted 49er defensive line today? I mean, they're playing a banged up offensive line with Jedrick Wills, who was a statue for most of the game. And what was it our scheme, or was it just the 49ers sucked, or what was it?
I'll tell you what I think partially it was. I think that the first, and I don't even want to call it a drive of the game where they went up 7-0, which was nothing but a menagerie of
plays,
penalties. And they jumped up off that lead. And I think that, they got off to that start and they figured, okay, this is going to be, the way it's supposed to go. And the rain started coming down so hard. And I know because I'm, only a matter of, miles away from the stadium, and everything was moving directly from Canada south. And so it was off and on pouring today here as well as up there. And it changed the entire tenor of the game. And I think, and then all of a sudden your guys go down and now you're not so sure. And what I saw from the 49ers was some lack of composure, some frustration that the Browns didn't roll over. And I know they should have won the game, but no, they shouldn't have. If they were in this game until the final 7 seconds, folks, then they didn't deserve to win, because they were playing a team that was not only crippled and without its starting quarterback and its best running back, but they were playing a team that was shit on by its own press, shit on by its own fans, shit on by the media, shit on social media by every so-called Browns reporter. They lost, and they deserve to lose. And I think, again, the fan in the chat room here who's a 49ers fan would be the first to admit that their team didn't play their best game. If you play that far below your capacity, then against a team that really has its head down because of the circumstances surrounding the franchise, the quarterback, and the fan base, if it's that close and you have to kick a field goal to win the game, yes, you should make a 41-yard field goal. But you got to block a guy going around the end, too, trying to block the kick. And it's almost like, the details weren't there. And I know that Kyle Shanahan is obviously distraught over this.
Well, I think they'll bounce back, the 49ers. I don't expect them to go into a tailspin unless McCaffrey and Samuel are hurt for like weeks and weeks. I mean, that could really be a legitimate problem for them. But, you'd think the 49ers would bounce back.
Yeah, the other thing that, and this kind of alludes to the weather conditions as well. 25 penalties between the two teams.
Oh, yeah.
That was crazy.
The 12 and 13. I mean, it was just, it was not a clean game by any stretch of the imagination. But, you know what, it like you said this to begin with, Moo. It was a blue-collar game. It was in your face. We're going to punch you in the nose.
This old school Green Bay Packers, Vince Lombardi football.
Yeah, it was just like, we're gonna smack you, and we're gonna do what we got to do to try to get you out of your normal, things that you do. And it certainly seemed to work. And all these different things that came in through the game, all these different highlights, they're talking about how the 49ers had only trailed for 7 minutes of the entire year. Until this came. It was like, this became, I guess it was 1 minute for the entire year, and then 7 minutes in this game. It was like they hadn't trailed even the whole time. So, it was a nice W. And once again, it's that like I said, it's an any given Sunday thing. These are professional athletes, and they're they're going to pick their weeks to go. I once again, Njoku, another good game, had that touchdown called back on the screen.
Was that holding?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Once you looked at it again,
He had his hand on his waist, and
But
the
then he
guy's
ended up-
arm was down, pinned to his waist, and I
but then
don't know.
He ended up getting it up around him, like in the
Okay.
shoulder area. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I can see why they called it, especially since that was right where the quarterback was and everybody was looking. And
Yeah.
Right.
and,
Hey,
and
Lou,
Yeah.
I got an interesting stat for you.
Sure.
Since the 80s, the 49ers have never won in Cleveland since the 80s.
I remember when they were on Monday Night Football and the Bernie Kosar Browns just literally whipped their ass. That may have been in Kosar's first year in 85 or 86.
They had
Sounds
one
familiar.
in 93 when it was Belichick.
Oh, well, maybe that was the one. Was that Kosar?
That would've been
I think
Vinny.
so.
Yeah, it was a game that they had. That's right. I remember this. I think you're right. It
I
was
was
the
there
early
if it was
90s
93.
version of Bernie. And nobody thought the Browns even had a chance. And they ended up, and it wasn't that close, as I recall. So this one was close. And as far as Brian Hibbs is concerned, you know how I feel about Kevin Stefanski. He's had 4 years to make the offense go. That's supposed to be his strong suit. And we need something better. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, the moron Scott Olson called him a quarterback guru at one point, didn't he?
Yeah.
Was he annoying today? Olson was.
Mark, the reason that was not a pass interference, the ball was underthrown.
Yeah.
And, the momentum of the play, he may have given Cooper a little push, and Cooper was going the wrong way, falling out of bounds. But maybe had the ball been thrown further, but that was way underthrown. And, I wish I could tell you something different, but I don't trust anything about the NFL anymore. So, Brian, I have to maintain some semblance of a sense of humor, even when I'm feeling like this.
That 93 game, Matt Stover had 3 field goals, and Michael Jackson caught a 30-yard pass from Bernie.
Woo!
What was the final score?
23-13.
Yeah.
So, and I know I was there because that's when I had season tickets. So,
the end of the first half, I was so infuriated. I was already suffering from what is hitting me today, and I couldn't get excited about it, just like I'm not getting excited about the win, just because I don't want to pass out or lose my balance or anything like that, because this also affects right here. And it's right in the chest, right here, the diaphragm. So if I watching a football game and I'm getting excited nervously, breathing starts to increase. That makes this worse. And it's almost like what do they call it?
Psychosomatic or
Yeah, well, it's anxiety will bring
Anxiety.
upon breathing, and then when you're having difficulty,
panic attack.
it kind of, in a strange way, that's what the bone spur against the spine makes you feel like. And
Okay.
and Radu's
Okay,
looking forward to our next opponent. That's today.
Yeah,
That doesn't mean next week.
That doesn't mean dick. I mean, we got to go out and play hard and try to beat these fuckers. I mean, the Ravens got beat by the Colts, didn't they? If I recall correctly.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes, they did.
but you see, we're not going to get 37 points against the Colts. And that's the problem. The way we have a chance, by the way, not Joe Askew6. How you doing, buddy?
What Joe asked you.
We're not gonna score that many points. We have to win the way we won today, I guess. And
I was more of a Duke Sims fan as opposed to Joe Askew, but he was pretty cool anyway.
I was a Duke Nukem
Dante
fan.
Whitner called them pretenders.
Wow.
Oh, well.
Look.
Then maybe he doesn't have a very vivid imagination.
He was a pretender when he signed here. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I mean, this game is just if you hang around long enough, maybe something good will happen. And what I'm happy for are the fans who were there at the stadium braving the elements, who sat through the Browns, playing their hearts out defensively and trying to do whatever they could to get enough points on the board offensively so that they could see that field goal go wide. Because, yeah, go ahead.
And I'll say this, round of applause to Dalvin Tomlinson. That was an incredible game from him today.
Oh, he was dancing on the bench on the sideline. He was having a good time out there. He's feeling good.
Oh,
Didn't hear Myles Garrett's name very much, did you?
He did make one stop on McCaffrey.
Yeah, that was it.
I knew Shanahan was kind of going to scheme him out.
Well, here's the deal, Captain Fierce. We do need a better offensive coordinator.
Yeah. And
the head coach needs to, and the front office need to bring in a new head coach with an offensive coordinator, and the head coach has to have a true offensive coordination background, not just a year or two with the Minnesota Vikings playing dink and dunk. And then get a coordinator in there to learn that system so we can move forward with it. That's the deal. And it's the front office that's holding us up on all of this stuff. And they will fire Stefanski at the end of the season one way or another because the team isn't showing any progress offensively whatsoever. But, you keep that defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, in place at all costs, but you do not make him a head coach because that waters down what his primary function is.
Yeah.
So.
He shouldn't be out there game managing. He should be running the defense. So, and that's what Stefanski doesn't do. He doesn't manage the game. He's so busy looking at his Denny's menu of a card for the plays that he doesn't know what's going on in the game half the time. So,
and Richard, that almost fumble is bad play calling by the head coach.
Absolutely.
Putting a guy into a position where he was in a no-win. And you can't, it's like, okay, we're not going to run the clock out, even though we're going to get the ball to begin the second half. And we're going to try to make a big play. And that's what ends up happening when you have a broken down offensive line. That's the kind of shit that happens. And just absolutely, no excuse for that. It's just bad.
Yeah, some of these bad plays and bad play calls will definitely be swept under the carpet this week and won't be investigated by anybody in the media that can investigate these sort of things. So, I don't know. It's still, I still have a grim outlook. I'm just waiting to see next week and see how we do. If we come out and play a decent game next week, then maybe I'll start thinking we're a legitimate wild card team. But until I see that, then I'm going to hold my cards back.
Well, this is how you know that Myles Garrett is frustrated, is when he starts jumping off sides, because I hate to say it, Myles Garrett plays for Myles Garrett. And what did it matter if he wasn't getting to the quarterback, if he was staying in his zone and playing his part of the field, and Tomlinson was in the backfield getting the job done? What does it matter? It's the unit that matters, getting the job done. It isn't the Defensive Player of the Year award. And Myles Garrett is selfish, hung up on himself, drive 100 miles an hour in a sports car and flip it over kind of guy. And I've seen him long enough to know that he does this shit when he wants stats. And I want wins. The fans want wins. And eventually it will not go over with a real head coach. It just won't. And I'm sure that that Schwartz ain't going to put up with the shit either. Here we go. Quote for the press conference on the last pass. This is double P, so I trust this. Stefanski said he wasn't supposed to throw that ball. He knew he wasn't supposed to throw that ball.
Oh, no. They're already shitting on the guy who won a game.
Explain to me the last Walker pass, because I was laying in bed, unable to watch a portion of the game.
So they got some pressure. He ended up rolling out to his right, and he tried to hit Amari Cooper in the end zone. But
Yeah.
there were three guys basically on him, two in front,
Right.
one on the side, and fortunately the ball got knocked down and not intercepted. And he was running to his right and threw on the run, but he had already done that twice and short armed it on those two potential passes to Moore that were right down the middle of the field, and it was just like, I don't know what, he never got his feet set. He was trying to, do it off the run.
Yep.
And you just can't do that kind of stuff. And
Well,
that's
I
what
don't
happened.
understand. So if he knew that he wasn't supposed to throw the ball and he threw it anyway,
He could have just run for 5 yards.
Yeah,
and slid.
he had daylight in front of him on the
Yeah.
play. He could have at least picked up 5 yards and
so he
ran
was
the
playing
clock
hero
down.
Oh,
ball.
Yeah, he was trying to win the
Pretty
whole
much,
damn
yeah.
thing.
Then why should he ever play again?
Well, because we don't have any other quarterbacks other than DTR, who's,
Yeah, but DTR will at least follow instructions.
this is true.
I mean, if this is true, and this would be the second quarterback Stefanski's thrown under the bus, by the way.
Yeah, at least he's done several quarterbacks now.
So,
And
4 or
the other
5.
thing that a lot of social media was, work a deal to bring back Brissett. Man, everybody was just like, all of a sudden they, it's like that guy you don't miss until he's gone, because you don't really realize that he doesn't really win games, he doesn't really lose games, he just is there. And now all of a sudden it's like, gosh, I wish I had a steady quarterback that wasn't flashy, that just got things done. Oh, we had one of those, we let him
Yeah.
go.
yeah. Sorry,
Right.
Karen Canley. I don't think it's tyrannical. He's had 4 years. Enough.
He's had his quota.
So, at any rate, I think
we wouldn't be Browns fans if we weren't going for the the overreacting type thing. Hey, we won a game, let's fire everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
it's pretty much the way it is. I mean, we made a comment, and Bronk and I had put something, but my wife had put a picture of Charlie Brown, and my comment was that we're all just Charlie Browns waiting for Lucy to yank that ball away when it comes to being Browns fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, I'm going to have to
Are you
this.
done?
I'm going to cut this short. I'm having
Yep.
some difficulties.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead. Don't worry about it.
I appreciate everybody who's in here and everybody who's following the podcast, but I'm having some issues. So I'm going to lay down, I'm going to chill out, and I'm going to see if I'm up to this tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah, the weather doesn't
You
help
have a
matters
rest.
either.
I'm sure that's not helping. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. A great win for the Browns. We're 3-2 now, and I hope I feel better tomorrow. So until then, hasta la vista, Pasture Heads. Good night.
Boo.
Right.